Semi-final action of the World Bowls Championships for 2023. It is men's triples, and it is Australia's Carl Healey, Aron, Sherriff and Corey Wedlock up against Ireland, Stuart, Bennett, Ian McClure and Martin McHugh. Val Febo here with you on Green 4 at Broadbeach. We've made the transition. We brought the table over and the streaming equipment and the cameras. I've also brought Barry Lester, but I didn't carry him. I made him walk. How are you, Baz?
You're always carrying me, Val. Yeah, I'm really good, mate.
You are too kind.
So from one end of the venue to the other, Green 1 to Green 4. And it's 4 beautiful greens here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. And this one, for me, would arguably be the best green in the world, is Green 4. Beautiful drawing, hands, and lovely speed. So both players, they're into it, Stewie and Corey.
Certainly are. Ireland, they control the mat. And the Irish team of Stuart Bennett, he's using Aero Optima. Ian McClure, Martin McHugh using Henselite Dreamline XGs. It's the same with the Australian lineup. Corey the lead, Optima, and Omar and Carl both on the XGs. The Australians got over the top of America in the previous match, which was a massive win for the Aussies and for their confidence, I think. Baz?
Yeah, all reports, Corey Wedlock led the absolute house down. Had a chat to the team and to see how things are travelling, and yeah, they're very happy. They're feeling good about themselves, but it is a fresh start, new direction. Playing north-south in this Green 4, as you see, for those who are familiar with the Australian Open finals. This is roughly, pretty much nearly identical to where the Australian Open finals are played, Rink 24.
The Irish team, Baz, an absolute classic this morning against Malaysia, who we streamed yesterday, defeated the Aussies. And they got the job done 14-13, a very close one. So they're in touch in those close scenarios, the scenario training that we spoke about in the women's fours this morning. Absolutely magnificent. They should be very proud of that. So Ireland will be looking to get through to the final here.
Yeah, very accomplished team is the Irish triple. Stewie playing his first game, first World Bowls, and Ian McClure and Marty McHugh. Well, they've been playing for Ireland well over 20 years, and they've won medals at every known championship to man when it comes to representing their country. And they proved that last year, both Ian and Marty being part of the gold medal winning fours team at the Commonwealth Games, as Aron Sherriff needs to drop a yard of weight here.
Oh, he's looking good, Aron Sherriff. He's the king of this green for a reason. We saw him at the AO, almost taking a Grand Slam. And the Irish, in the men's tournament or in the men's competitions, have not won a gold medal in 19 years. That was in the fours. Jim Baker, Neil Booth, Noel Graham, and Jonathan Ross, not the talk show host, the bowler. It was the last time they saluted. Margaret Johnston, also in 2004 in the women's. So it's been 19 long years for an Irish gold medal. So they look to finally break that duck.
Yeah, I remember watching my first World Bowls on TV, 1996 in Adelaide, where Ireland took away the pairs gold. And that was a memorable match. Jeremy Henry, part of that team. And Adelaide, what a spectacle they put on back in 96 and then backed it up in 2012. Lockley's Bowling Club. And, some players think that some players were there. And then now they've backed it up again, with Aron Sherriff being part of the World Championship team in 2012 and now back here 11 years later.
So the Irish team last year at the Commonwealth Games that saluted. They didn't finish on top of their group. Canada did. Sam Barkley, Adam McEwen, who's playing pairs with Gary Kelly at the moment, Ian McClure and Martin McHugh saluting in the gold medal match, defeating India 18-5 in the final. They romped through the knockout stages. There was a bit of a hiccup against Scotland where they won at 18-15 in a close one. But this Irish team, they know how to get it done. Ireland in red, Australia in blue.
Yeah, Ian McClure just out of shot there. Nice, good man. Yeah, Ian McClure just in covering the shot there, but The second bowl of Aron Sherriff holding shot. Martin McHugh there, just on the forehand, missing slightly high. As you can see in this particular green, nice shine to it, so that would usually indicate it's a bit quicker than what we've seen so far. It's about 15 to quarter, this green. Wide drawing hands on both sides, and that breeze is actually coming through from the south, coming through the soccer oval from the southwest. So that southwest is going to have a bit of impact on this match in particular, because of the fourth green around the corner here at Broadbeach is quite open to the ocean and the soccer field.
So medal confirmed for all of these bowlers here. And Australia start things with a 1. So, yeah, the loser will go home with a bronze medal here, Baz. Same as the other semi-final between England and Scotland. Geez, England were very lucky to be in this situation. They were down against Japan, but they clawed their way back and got the job done by a solitary shot.
Yeah, a lot of good close matches going on this morning, and that's what you got to get under this knockout format. Players have got to try and relieve that from their minds, the fact that it's knockout. Just play each bowl, each end on its merits. It's Corey Wedlock.
Corey Wedlock, we know how proficient he is in all forms of bowls. Doesn't matter whether he's playing lead, second, third or fourth. Excellent draw player, excellent skip wherever he must be. He performs with distinction.
Yeah, Stewie Bennett there, just sliding in nicely for shot. Corey Wedlock on the backhand. So far, all 4 deliveries on the one side of the rink. Just getting to know the arc there to the jack. What line's required. Needs this one just to hang on. It's a pretty good reply. So Stuart Bennett and Corey Wedlock splitting the points there. Very close for shot. Marty McHugh just indicating 18 inches over. So Martin McHugh, his record speaks for itself. Such a prolific winner and selected player for his country. Just performs year in, year out, as Martin McHugh does, skipping for his country, and a real gentleman to go with it. Aron Sherriff on the mat, backhand, no mucking around.
No mucking around at all.
He'll be looking just to sit this nearest bowl of Ireland.
Ellen Ryan in her final singles match of the group stage against Rebecca Colhoun of Spain. She's down 3-8. Ellen has confirmed her place at the top of the group. And now that'll be, I think, 5-8. Ellen has just scored a 2. So it's a dead rubber. But Ellen Ryan, she won't want to lose. She'll want to go through this competition with a clean sweep. She's playing beautifully at the moment on a rampage.
Yeah, tricky situation for Ellen. Playing a game that doesn't bear any result for her. It's always a mental sort of game then. You know that you've done all the hard yards, you've got to where you need to be, and you have to just try and find it within yourself to just keep pushing, keep charging. As we see now, Aron Sherriff on the backhand again. Something similar, ideally sitting the nearest bowl of Islands, the red bowl there, the duo colour, or getting on the top of the jack. It's close.
Aron Sherriff wants it to get down. Is it going to have enough weight? Just underneath. 1 to Australia at the moment. Helen asking if the Aussie girls won this morning. They did in the 4s. They're playing Scotland at the moment for a place in the gold medal match. That is on the other stream. Gold Coast Tweed are looking after that one for us. So there are 2 streams going on under the Bowls Australia Facebook page.
And McClure, as you see there, straight arm, very iconic technique. It's down nice and low. Very experienced player, very accomplished at all levels. He's looking to change his head up. Oh, it's a great attempt. Perfect weight just to try and trail that jack for 3. Look at this. Every bowl inside 4 feet. Nice conditions today.
So Lockie Williams doing a great job getting the score up there of the other men's triple semi-final between England and Scotland.
So we've got a bit of action going on here around the venues. So this is Green 4. We've got the 4 games going on, but we've got many other games going on, different disciplines.
Certainly do. Men's pairs up and running as well in the quarterfinal stage. So Louis Rideout, Nick Brett and Jamie Walker, the triples team for England. And they're up against the Scottish powerhouse, and those names almost need no introduction, Baz, but I'll give it to you anyway. Paul Foster, MBE, Derek Oliver, and do you know this guy's name, Alex Marshall?
Yeah.
He's all right.
Seen those boys play a lot firsthand, and of course they're going to be hard to beat, but they're actually playing the defending champions in England. Jamie Walker was part of that team in the triples, and Robert Paxton, Andy Napper. So what a game that was. Witnessed it firsthand, extra end, but England are the defending champions when it comes to the triples, as Marty McHugh looks to, well, he's a bit high, but all of a sudden Ireland have the 2 Bacchus bowls.
Yeah, they're looking good around the back of the head here, so the Aussies, a little bit of work to do, but Corey Wedlock's bowl still holding sway at the moment. Aron Sherriff just giving his instructions and his thoughts to his skip in Carl Healey.
Yeah, that's a good call from Aron. Well, most people that have played a fair bit of international bowls know that Martin McHugh has a beautiful drive on him. He's up there with the Ryan Besters and the other big hitters of the game. And Martin McHugh, he won't shy away from going big when needed.
So we streamed a couple of the triples games yesterday. They were both extremely close. Decided by a whisker. The French game yesterday evening was as good as they get. The drama was at its highest ebb. The Australians, they needed to win to ensure their spot in the quarterfinals. They got the job. They got the job done, and they find themselves in a semi now.
So Marty McHugh looking for a trail here. Sit the bowl square for 1 or 2, or just a little touch.
Of course, no time limit here, Baz. 18 ends. Martin McHugh.
He's on a good arc. They're stalking this one. They're starting to ride it in. He needs some work off the front. He's close here. Well, he's
has he
it.
Got it? I don't think he has. Body language. Not great, is it? I don't know.
So the reason it's not really...
Yeah, one to Ireland, yeah.
The reason they're not cheering is because that little rub off the front. Now, if you ever want to watch a country go about being polite and showing manners out on a bowling green, Martin McHugh and his fellow Irishmen, they'll be the first to put their hand up or say out loud sorry if they get a result that wasn't their intended result or intended target. And that's a common thing at international bowls. There is definitely a respect amongst the players and countries, and Martin McHugh is a massive exponent of that. If he's off course and gets a result that he wasn't intended to get, he'll be the first to hold up his hand, and that's why he's managed to not only be highly regarded as one of the best players to come out of Ireland, but also a gentleman to go with it.
Yep, exactly right. So, England have raced away on the other semi-final. They won the Commonwealth Games as well last year, England, so they're a formed team. And Australia and Ireland locked apiece. The Aussies, the only Southern Hemisphere nation left in this men's triples competition.
Nice starter there from both players. Corey Wedlock, 20 inches away. Stuart Bennett, just on about 10 inches away. Jack length, about 33 metres, so quite a long length into that southwester. And as you can see straight away, Stuart Bennett, he's pretty honed in pretty well. He's has been a far away with all 6 deliveries so far. Corey Wedlock, all 6 deliveries on one side of the rink. He's just working on his rhythm, trying to set up his teammates. If you can't get rhythm with line, it has to be with weight, one or the other. So, nice shot there from Corey.
He's led beautifully. Yesterday, he was absolutely sensational against France, was Corey Wedlock, and broke his duck in terms of getting through to a knockout stage at a major event internationally. Missed both of the Commonwealth Games last year and was perilously close again yesterday with the French going up 7-1. Now it's time for Ian McClure to work some magic.
It looks to be under. I think we're going to see a little bit of that this match on this forehand this direction as we feel that southwest to come through our commentary area. As you see there, Carl Healey, lots of animation, good body language in and around the head. Just asking Aron Sherriff to come down, look to sit on the nearest bowl of Ireland or trail the jack around the corner. Well, it's going to go to a decent home.
So Martin McHugh and Ian McClure. There we go. I knew that was going to trip me up at some stage. Both won the 4s with Ireland at the Commonwealth Games in 1998.
Yeah, Kuala Lumpur.
And in 2022. So it just shows the longevity of their careers and what they've been able to do. They've medalled, Martin McHugh has medalled in 2 World Bowls Championships in triples and 4s in 2000 and 2016. So they've been stalwarts of this country. Ian McClure at the World Champs 2000, 2012 and 2016, bronze in the 4s, and in 2016, silver in the pairs. And then also played the 1994 Victoria Commonwealth Games where he netted a bronze in the 4s.
Yeah, the Ian McClure and Gary Kelly coming up against Brett Wilkie and Aaron Wilson in that final in 2016. But when you look at that, Val, and you've touched on it nicely, let's look at that in isolation. You're talking 30 years Ian McClure has been representing Ireland at the highest level, World Bowls, Com Games. And if you think about the amount of hours committed to doing that, not only in competition, but training, lead-up events, being away from work, family, the commitment levels, and that is an outstanding achievement. Bronze, silver, or gold is completely irrelevant on the back end of what you're doing from a commitment level. They're just an object that shows some form of reward, but wow, what a massive achievement that is to do for a country that's got such rich history in bowls. Ian McClure, hats off to you, mate. Well done, and well done what you've done for your country.
Exactly right. They have been such stalwarts of this Irish lineup, and England, well, what a start it's been for them in the men's triples. 9-0. They lead over Scotland, team that includes Foster and Marshall.
So, Aron Sherriff leaning in on that one just to see where that finishes and just trying to ride it in. Carl Healey just finishing high. So, Ian McClure, very, very animated player. Lots of voice, lots of hand gesturing. He's a really good wingman to have out there. And Martin McHugh and Ian played so much together now. And Marty McHugh, he'll be on the charge here looking for jack or bowl. Needs the right jack movement now. Needs to go with it. Well, he has. Well, that'll do for one. Oh, it could be one.
Could be a couple.
They're down the green, cheering it and celebrating halfway.
They knew.
Very iconic characteristic of the Irish players.
I remember watching him at the Com Games last year. They were as animated as everything.
Yeah, they really do leave everything out there on the green. So does this man, Carl Healey. Loves a scrap, loves a fight, loves a battle. Backhand. Probably about 2 feet of room for shot here. Nice high, wide drawing hand, this one. Carl Healey. Well, he's going big for the jack. All the bowl.
Carl Healey. Has he got it? Ooh, whisker.
2 it is to Ireland.
So, the Irish trio take the lead for the first time in this match. It's 3-1 in favour of the men draped in green and navy blue. Very interesting start to this match. Joe Franzi watching on from Club Tweed. You should be here at Broadbeach, Joe. So, plenty going on. Live scores will be provided for you from us, and you can also go to the world2023.bowls.com.au website and check on the scores there. Women's fours action. Semi-finals. Plenty happening here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Men's pairs as well. Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson have started very well against Scotland.
So Stewie Bennett just falling a yard short. It's caused Corey Wedlock to switch hands. So it's forehand for Corey. So it's a new look for him. It's not a bad starter. Sliding through a couple of feet. Nice home. That's the beauty of these greens. If there's something slightly in your way, you can switch hands with so much confidence knowing that both hands have got really clean turn. Nice arcing shoulders on both hands. Stewie Bennett, he needs contact. Well, that's a maximum result for Stuart. Giving his bowler promotion in behind the jack. So Corey Wedlock looking to take 2 feet off on the same line. Pretty good effort. Needs to fall. Well, it's close. Hanging on as the call from Marty McHugh.
Denny, it is the New Zealand women's team. A couple of rinks over. They got the job done over South Africa in the women's fours quarterfinal. Ellen Ryan at 10-all against Rebecca Colquhoun of Spain. She clawed that one back from a 1-5 deficit. Tees and Wilson leading 11-2 against Scotland. Ian McLean skipping that one.
Aron Sherriff forehand. Looking to draw the shot. 18 inches of room. Just missing high. Consolation there, probably getting the tee. And McClure, as we see, lines up in line with his target behind the mat. Nice big straight arm, good bend in the knees. Very iconic setup.
Vicky Stein, the patch on the Aussie shorts is a chamois-like material. So for sweaty palms, just to dry the hands out, make it easier to grip the bowls. Bit of a scare for the Aussie fours against Scotland, down 6-0.
Yeah, just dropped a 4. But that's okay. Early days. Early days. If you're going to be down, you want it to be early. Plenty of time to come back. Aron Sherriff, good track again. Needs to make the correction. He's all over this.
For Sherriff in town, he's at his home club. So the finals days, they start tomorrow, Barry Leicester at Club Helensvale. The main broadcast rink will have the men's pairs and women's fours tomorrow before the secondary rink. Well, there's 3 games there. I'll join Brett Wilkie and Julie Keegan in commentary. And that'll be the para or the vision impaired mixed pairs, para men's pairs, para women's pairs, and then the men's triples. And then on Sunday, it is para men's pairs into women's singles.
Martin McHugh on a good line. He's just going to fall about a yard short. Good track, good feel. So much colour, so many countries in action, big crowds. Everyone really making their way to Broadbeach Bowls Club today. You see people from all clubs around the Gold Coast coming here to watch the action.
Semi-finals are often the hardest ones to win, Barry.
Some people have travelled, I can see, down from Brisbane and Sunshine Coast, up from Ballina.
Certainly have Fred McConnell watching on as well. He's here. The para Jackaroos, vision impaired Jackaroos, sitting next to Jackie and Robert Hudson. This is an interesting prospect for the Aussies. Jesse Nerona watching on. Fellow Jackaroo, come on the Brubs.
Yeah, big discussion here. It's one of those ones, if you go big and remove all those bowls just past Jack, they've got plenty there at the front, has Ireland. Or do you just try and back yourself, play into the head, sit and stay, trail the Jack? So here we go. Martin McHugh on the backhand. Some level of weight here. Looking to arrive, so it's solid ditch weight. Wants the bowl out.
He's close.
Oh, he's got the Jack.
Spilled it in, so that's a touch. I reckon that's 2 to the Irish at the moment.
Australia's got one back there, though.
They do, but how far back is it? Nope, just the one to Ireland, I believe.
Yeah, the first delivery of Aron Sherriff was their backest bowl. Carl Healey, from what we can tell, looks to be about 3 feet of room to draw the shot here. He's not stalking it. Is it enough? It's running on. So it's 2 blues. So the bowl of Martin McHugh's must have left the rink. We couldn't see that, but
yeah, I think it did go out of bounds. So that's a welcome start or welcome end for Australia, who level proceedings here. 3 apiece after 4. 18 ends is what we're playing to, unless of course the margin gets beyond 6 with more than an end to go, or 12 with, more than 6 with an end to go, or 12 with 2 ends to go. Until it's mathematically impossible to win, that's when we stop, or we keep going. What have you liked so far, Baz?
Yeah, we've seen a fair bit of weighted shots. We saw Carl Healey the end before that, trying to drive a couple of bowls out or get the Jack. We're seeing some good solid up-front play from both leads. Carl Healey, he had plenty of room to draw with his last there and did enough to add. So it's good for him just to play a counter as we see Corey Wedlock switch to the backhand. It's his first backhand delivery in this direction and falling about 4 foot short, right on the line. So the reason for that is probably Corey wasn't really super happy with the forehand and felt he could maybe play better on the other hand, so he's just having a look. As Stuart Bennett comes down, lovely shot.
It is. And
Corey switching back to the forehand now, so Stuart Bennett just forcing the hand there, making Corey switch back, as we see, slightly in the way. Corey needs a clean run at the shot bowl now. He's just going to go under, but that's a nice reply by Corey Wedlock. Bowl inside 18 inches. It's That's what it's all about. If you can't be getting shot, just create some opportunities, build the heads.
So, Corey Wedlock, he's led well, and this morning, from all accounts, as you said, Baz, he was absolutely magnificent against the United States, and then yesterday against the French, he was scintillating. Was one of the main reasons that Australia got the job done. As next door, the Aussies, I think they've pinched it. They might have just dropped a massive score against Scotland.
Yeah, they definitely haven't won the end as...
They've dropped to 5. They're down 12-0.
Yeah, that's right, Val. Yeah, another back-to-back numbers for Scotland. That will be concerning. As Aron Sherriff just edges the jack. We often say, Val, it is a game of millimetres. The difference between Aron Sherriff getting the jack in the middle there versus the shave is quite important, because taking the shot away from the opposition, locking it down. But as it sits at the moment, Aron's still got an opportunity with his next. So, Ian McClure on the forehand. As we see there, ball heading out towards that second line. Somewhere in between those two lines will indicate it's around about 7 feet of grass. So if that gets back to the line, it just tells you how much it's drawing.
Yeah, and we know this green in this middle session, Baz, we know it can absolutely fly at the Australian Open. This is where we did most of our live streaming, and it is a very, very fast green. As you said, it's one of the best in the world, and the Broadbeach Bowls Club is one of the most prominent clubs worldwide. They've now hosted a Com Games and World Bowls Championships.
So a bit stiff there, Aron Sherriff. Couldn't have played it much better. I don't know if he survived for shot. We'll soon find out. So 1 red, but 2 crackers from Aron Sherriff. He's just pumping him in there, trying to, once again, create some targets, create some better heads for the Aussies. And on both occasions, not quite middling the jack. Yeah, that's right, Val. And I'm pretty sure the greenkeepers, especially with last night's rain, I think the greenkeepers will be just making sure they can keep the speed of the greens around the same speed.
Do you reckon Aron Sherriff was out there giving it a roll this morning, Bass?
He could have been. I don't think so.
I doubt it.
But
it would be a big question mark on that. But no, he knows these greens so well.
With the time limits, it's hard in the pool games, because if the greens get up around 17 or 18 seconds, then the opportunities for a lot of the teams, not just Australia, but a lot of the countries to be able to finish their games isn't really likely, and no one wants to see that. So I'm pretty sure the greenkeepers are trying their best to keep it around the same speed for the duration of the championship. And it's pretty much perfect speed at the moment. You can play every shot in the book. 15 to quarter seconds.
So the skips will trundle down. Carl Healey. What has he got?
Yeah, forehand looking to sit the red bowl just under the jack or trail the jack, but he's going to miss high, but if he stays on, he's handy.
Can't quite see. We've got a lot of people around the green. We can't quite see if he stayed on. I reckon he has, just on the precipice of the ditch. Billy, Carl Healey is the skip for Australia. So England and Scotland in the other semi-final, Baz. 9-2 in favour of England.
Yeah, so Ireland here have the shot and they have the tee, but they don't have one out the back matching that first attempt by Carl Healey. So do they try and get there with their first, or touch this jack around the corner? So Martin McHugh, he's trying hard here. He wants to touch the jack.
Oh, he's gotten very close. That's a beautiful bowl, but has it fattened up the target now for Carl Healey?
Definitely. So if Carl misses high without that bowl there, if he missed the jack high without that bowl there, he wouldn't change this head up. But Marty's actually framed this for Carl. Carl's under.
Here's a few things have hit. Well,
If it stays in, he might score.
Has it stayed in?
No, they're putting it. So good stroke from Carl. Carl, slightly under perfect, but a really good stroke for Carl.
So not a bad effort from Carl Healey, but an opportunity for the Irish to pop in number 2 here.
Yeah, one yard on his last for Martin McHugh. Send it out in the same line. Let the autocorrect take over.
So Martin McHugh wanting those XGs to work around. Is he going to crash? A little
enough.
slide, but it'll do. And Ireland get a multiple. 3 2s in a row, and the Irish, as we conclude the 5th end of the match, take a 5-3 lead. With a goal of getting through to the final. The winner of this takes on the winner of England and Scotland. The English, after getting through by the skin of their teeth against the Japanese, well, they're in a very fine position against Foster, Oliver and Marshall. What a trio that is. The Australians holding 2 in the women's fours. They are down 12-0. They actually dropped a 6, not a 5 in the last end. That is, well, danger signs. 12-0 after 3.
Yeah, holding a good 2 here, Valdo, the Australian women. Hopefully they can hold that and make a counter. So, as we see here, Stuart Bennett, been a pretty good solid little hit out for the 2 leads. Both been sort of around the mark. Stuart Bennett predominantly playing the one side of the rink. A couple of occasions just falling short here, but this is a nice starter from Stuart Bennett. He seems to be in pretty good touch. Playing pretty well for his country. It's a nice lead bowl. Corey Wedlock going with him on the backhand. Both bowlers. Both leads just in a little battle to outdo each other on the draw or just outnumber each other around the head. Nice reply, Corey Wedlock. That's a great reply. Once again, if you're not getting shot, giving your bowl some form of value around the head. Here we go, Stuart Bennett. Absolute character. Loves a laugh, loves a banter, as does Stewie. Ripping fella. But also competitive and leaves it all out on the green, as does Stuart. Corey Wedlock, he's not far away here. Will he get back to the shot bowl? Beautiful way to gain. That's lovely leading. Nice replies. Both bowls from Corey in the game. Well and truly something that Ireland need to be wary of. And McClure setting up behind the mat after his call from Marty McHugh. Backhand it is. Out on a nice line. Just looking to either sit the shot bowl of Stuart Bennett or get something past. As you see, the 2 bowls of Corey Wedlock's right in the game they are. Even though Australia are 1 down, the head probably favours of them, Australia, knowing that they can afford to arrive or trail the jack, and they've got the bowls catching. And Aron Sherriff has a clean run at it, nothing in the way. Needs to hurry.
Is he going to get there, Aron Sherriff?
Good effort.
He's close, but not close enough. Ellen Ryan has taken the lead in the women's singles against Rebecca Colhoun of Spain. She leads at 13-12. She was down 1-5 before. So she's making her move, and the Aussies on the rink a couple of rinks over against Scotland. They net themselves a 2. They are on the board after 4, 11 ends to play. They're down 12-2. A lot of work to go, but with momentum well and truly coming into it, if they can get a few ends together, well, it'll be hard to stop.
Yeah, Aron Sherriff, all over it he was. just needs to find another yard to 4 feet. Sit the shot bowl square or grab the jack and run with it. He's jogging after it. We all know what that means. Needs to hold on here, Aron. Or can he get some work off his previous delivery? Just sliding under. But that's a consolation there for Aron Sherriff. As you can see, out to the wing, the left wing there. Australia holding 3 or 4 bowls together. So Marty McHugh, he'll be all over that. He'll be very conscious that Australia will be looking to get that jack and trail it out to the wing.
So 5-3, the Aussies down. Ireland have handled things very well so far. An epic against Malaysia, who got over the top of the Aussies this morning. Or yesterday morning, I should say. All the days blending in together.
So Martin McHugh, it's just a case of trying to change this head up. As we've just gone off camera, that bowl has fallen over. Stuart Bennett's bowl.
How's this going?
He's played it well. It's a great home. That's actually perfect. That's actually exactly where Martin McHugh wanted to bowl.
So now it's up to Carl Healey. Played some absolute bombs yesterday. None better than that one against France.
Yeah, so as we see there, could be 2 second shots to Australia. Carl ideally wants to shift that shot bowl out of Stuart Bennett's without moving the jack.
So is that coming on the forehand?
Yeah, the higher percentage of not moving the jack will be forehand here. And then it's just a matter of what weight you want to play that at. So forehand it is. He's on a pretty good line. Will it sit for him?
Not far away, Carl Healey.
No jack now.
No jack at all. Massive from the Aussie skip. I reckon they're holding 3. Indication from our marker says, yep. Huge.
So forehand. Had something to work off there, being Aron Sherriff's bowl. Gets down nice. Just a matter of if Jack's staying still now. And he did enough. So Martin McHugh finds himself 3 down. A lot of room for this man. He has got 2 on the tee, though. Or 3. Well, actually 3 on the tee. Do we see big weight looking for jack movement or dead draw out of trouble?
Well, we know the Irish have a proclivity to play weight. We saw it at the Com Games last year, and as you've seen it a little bit in November and in March at the Multi-Nations.
Yeah, I've seen this guy do it for decades. Martin McHugh, big weight. He's trying to time it, though.
Underneath.
So I expected bigger weight from Martin McHugh.
He might go again. So, last bolt. No, that is his last bolt. I do apologise. So, Carl Healey, an opportunity here. Now, did our marker lift up a 4th paddle then? I just missed it from our screen here. This could be a massive, massive moment in the context of this match for Carl Healey as he steps to the mat. Elbow on his knee. It is on its way. Carl Healey wants it to turn. Needs it to come in, and he's got it. That is huge. Let's confirm what the score is. That is a 5, a quintet. And the Australians take the lead. Two sensational bowls from Carl Healey. And they stand in the middle of the rink and have a chat. What an unbelievable turnaround there from the Australian team. After 6, the Aussies lead it by 3. Tees and Wilson lead 16-2 after 10 ends in the men's pairs. They are having a wonderful morning. Karen Murphy's enjoying herself. Ellen Ryan against Rebecca Colhoun. 16-12. She's rectified the deficit. So the Aussies, beautiful end there for them. Can't quite see the score against Scotland. Australian fours against Scotland. A couple of people standing in the way. England and Scotland, well, 3-2s in a row to the Scots. Alex Marshall marshalling his troops. The starter from Corey Wedlock just needs it to get down, and it does. That's beautiful leading from the Warilla products. Of course, the losers of the semi-finals go home with a bronze medal. The winners, there's more up for play or up for grabs, a gold medal.
Good look at the head here. Okay, where are we there? It's coming in now from
Corey Wedlock holding sway at the moment. But a big 5 to the Australians in the last end has them ahead as we get closer and closer to the halfway point. It's Stuart Bennett this time who gets in for the shot. That is the boss.
Yeah, the crowds are thick here, 3 and 4 deep around the greens. Loving the grandstand setup on the west side on green 4 here, Val. It's a great setup, lots of colour.
The atmosphere is going to be sensational if the Aussies can start pulling things together.
It's got a little bit of 218 com games about it. Has the setup with the grandstands. The big fan, huge big fan of the mesh signage around the cyclone fencing. It just looks great with all the branding. And throw in all the colour of the uniforms. It's a great setup. So Australia looking really good here. Very, very happy to get that number early on in the game just to create a bit of wriggle room.
So the Aussies next door have done something. We'll continue to bring you updates about how that's tracking. Australia and Scotland, the women's fours semi-final. It's a 12-2 lead to Scotland at the moment. It was 12-0, so Dean Broadbeach watching from Ubud in Bali. Go Aussies.
And McClure on the backhand. Yeah, just trying to sit the shot bowl of Corey Wedlock's. Touch the jack around the corner. They're asking it to hurry. He wants bowl jack. Well, he's got the bowl. Made one out of it.
So it's been a great day so far for the Australians. No blemishes as of yet. Ellen Ryan leads 16-13. I reckon that's the biggest score she's conceded against Rebecca Colhoun of Spain.
Australian women's fours, 11-2 down, lying one on the head. So they're just trying everything they can to claw back. As we see this game here, Australia scoring a big number, but Ireland, very, very hard team to beat. So as it sits at the moment, Ireland holding the one, that front red bowl there at 11 o'clock. Carl Healey just missing under his line there.
Well, he's been awesome in this match so far, Carl Healey, and was wonderful in securing Australia that 5 in the most recent end. Played some bombs yesterday as well. All these 3 men know exactly what they're doing on these rinks, having played here many, many times.
And McClure looking just to draw another little touch around the corner would be a bonus. Work back down to half the jack. He doesn't want it down the line. Well, he's
and he
now
got
one
it down
down.
the line.
So that's that sharp turn as we're seeing there. It's a pretty foreign turn to if you're not used to the Tiff Dwarf conditions, but that Oceanside 9 times out of 10 here at Broadbeach on green 4, it will come back all day long. As you see, Ian McClure, he's particular backhand draw bowl there, ripping across the head, sharp turn. You can see where Carl Healey's bowl's coming from. It's coming from the clouds.
Yep.
That sharp turning bowl.
There's a hell of a lot of it. That's 2 to the Aussies.
Well, I think he's actually split the 2 blue bowls there, has Carl Healey. He's come right around the front, under the back one, and drawn the actual shot. Bowls are coming in sideways from that particular side of the rink.
Unbelievable.
So as it sits, Australia holding 2 shots. Martin McHugh just having a good old chat there with his teammates, Ian and Stuart. Just saying, well, wait a minute, it's 2 down, not all that bad. We don't want to make it worse. We tried that last stand, it didn't come off. We dropped to 5.
Plenty of action still to come. We're still not 100% sure what we're going to be doing next, but we will bring you updates. You can like the Bowls Australia Facebook page, and you'll be notified when we go live here on Rinkside Live if you turn your notifications on.
Yeah, so as in time limit games, if you can see here, the Irish are just taking all the time they need just to try and make sure they come to a conclusion on playing the right shot here. Whereas if this was a time limit game, we'd be start heading towards the direction of not being able to complete this match. But now it's knockout phase. Make the most of the clock being off. And I believe it'll be big weight here, looking for both bowls.
I got him.
What a shot, Martin McHugh.
Absolutely amazing.
And a massive fist pump to go with it.
He's fired up. Wowee.
He's up there, still up the green. He is, Martin McHugh. He's with his teammates. He's having a good old chat. Just massive weight. Both bowls clean.
Bang. What a beauty from Martin McHugh. 2 down. 1 up. What a hit. Seven ends played. Australia with an 8-6 buffer. Tense moments all around here as most of it is sudden death. Alan Ryan currently involved in her final singles match of her section. She's got a 2013 lead. She's in the checkout zone now, is Alan Ryan.
Australian women, 4s. Dropping 1 there. 13-2. As we see our little mate from Mudry Bar, the magpie from yesterday, he's made his way over to Broadbeach. Hello, little fella. Right at our feet he is. He can't get enough of these World Championships.
I'd rather he stayed away, to be honest.
Very well fed.
Yep, he's a big boy.
I just think
he's just eaten more.
I think this is an omen, Val. I think the Magpies,
they're beating the Demons on Thursday night.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Don't want them to beat my Demons, but we've got a few Magpies getting around. This could be a sign.
I don't like when they get too close. I really don't.
Okay, Stuart Bennett just sliding past. Corey Wedlock, nice opener on the forehand. Needs to double up, does Corey. Just goes about his business, does Corey Wedlock. Forehand.
So
encouraging it to push. Just going to fall short this one on a nice line.
The Aussies next door, down 13-2 against Scotland in the women's 4s. Need to start pegging things back soon if they can. Otherwise, it's going to make life mightily difficult for them.
And McClure, forehand. Bowl on its way. 2 feet of room for shot here. He'll want to get it with his first. Needs to move on. So he's just a bit under there, is Ian McClure. Probably needs 2 feet of weight. Aron Sherriff. Over this jack distance is 26 metres. He won't be far away. Needs a clear run now.
Not far at all. Aron Sherriff. I reckon yeah, that's it.
Don't think the end win has been played yet, though, Val. Too much room at this level.
I love when you say that, Baz, because it means that there's going to be some excitement.
I think there's going to be... I think Ireland definitely has too much room to draw the shot here, but it's a matter of who closes it off first, because I think the player that really draws real close should win this end, because there's just so much room still. And McClure close to the jack here. Well, he's got a toucher out of it, and could be, yeah. So the finger goes up from Martin McHugh.
Got a couple of answers here. Nice bowl from the Aussies on the women's fours rink. They get a bit of a round of applause, so they're back on the board. Ellen Ryan has gone through her section undefeated. Defeats Rebecca Colhoun 21-13, I believe.
Aron Sherriff needs to pull up. He's drawn it. Lovely shot. So you can see both bowls, similar line there from Aron Sherriff. Just body weight. Just step into it a little bit more momentum. It's one of the most asked questions you get about weight control. Just got to step into it with a little bit more tempo. Keep everything the same. And find the correction. Aron Sherriff, he's hit the line and just stepped into it and found a bit more weight. So Martin McHugh, he'll be down there on the back end now, looking for that bowl. Or he might try and draw it forehand.
The Aussies in the women's fours, a big roar.
Yeah, 1 down to 1 up. So Lindsay Clark had 4 feet to draw the shot there. She comes right down and draws nearly a front toucher, so making it really hard for the opposition there.
Martin McHugh.
He needs to get down, Martin McHugh. Decent opener.
Of course, the Gold Coast Baz is the epicentre of World Bowls at the moment, not just the World Bowls Championships, but the World Champion of Champions coming up after this. John O'Davis representing Australia and the great Karen Murphy as well. Can Karen Murphy become a 2-time World Champion of Champions winner?
Oh, it'd be an amazing effort for Karen. You've got all the experience in the world. Karen's singles game still continues to dominate. Won all the biggest titles in the world in terms of singles, world indoor, world outdoor.
She's an absolute star on the green and off it. What a wonderful person she is.
And since retiring, the titles are still flowing in, and she gets to front up at the World Champions at Rabina as Carl Healey draws another one.
Carlos.
Side resting touch up as the ITO finds a way in there to see that touched the jack.
Beautiful.
Rob Colson from Victoria. He finds his way in there. Let's keep an eye on Rob, our ITO. So his job is to make sure everything's done in terms of officials. And he's trying to make sure he sees this. As you watch Rob take it around the corner. There we go.
Yep.
Good job, Rob, on the ball. Didn't miss anything there. He's drawn a side touch up.
Like a meerkat peeking his head through.
Yes.
So the Aussies, they're having a good end here. Aron Sherriff and Carl Healey putting bowls in the best possible spot. England and Scotland, they're locked at 10-8. England ahead. What a match that's turning into. Going to be a classic finish to this one, probably. So the Irish just in deep conversation here because this is a pivotal bowl for them. They've got all the back bowls, but it's going to be hard to get there. Carl Healey having some sort of a match here. Absolutely marvellous. So, Baz, just deep in thought here. What's the go now?
Oh, he's hitting so well, Marty McHugh.
Not going to see this properly, but...
Yeah, Stewie's he's right on the centre line there. He's really entrenched in this result, this Stuart Bennett. He's out of the way now, and it's bowl through bowl.
Oh, they've got rid of their own here. Has that...
Well, they've gone 2 down to 4 down now.
Yeah, that's a horrendous result for the Irish, and it could be 5 if Carl Healey pops another one in, Baz.
Yeah, back-to-back numbers in this direction. Felt that Marty McHugh might have sort of looked to come down backhand, maybe sit or trail, but you've got to go with what's working. He's hit well this game. Just a bowl off target there he was. Mighty try for Martin. And Carl here just needs to repeat the dose here. Just send it down the nice line. Trust the weight. Anywhere within side sort of 18 inches to 2 feet should be enough. But
Carl Healey
needs a clear run in now. Not getting back in time. So 4 shots to Australia. That's a couple of big multiples in this direction.
Massive multiples, Baz. And now, while they're first to 10 as we edge towards the halfway point, they have doubled the score of the Irish. 12-6, and they are looking good at the moment. Australia, Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson, well, they've already won. What an unbelievable result from Aaron squared. Hey, Aron's unbelievable.
So Corey Wedlock on the backhand. Short jack, 25 metres. Trying to grab all the momentum they can right now, especially after scoring a multiple. You want to back it up, win the next end. Just going over Alan Ryan's performance, not only undefeated, but only conceding 70, I think it was 71 shots for the tournament. And that's amazing so far. Not only to come away with no losses, but to only concede those amount of shots.
It's quite remarkable, isn't it? Now, the Aussies in the women's fours, Baz, 13-4. They picked up a 2. They need to keep chipping away at this if they are any hope of overcoming the Scots, because that big 6 proving to be vital. The last 2 ends in this, or in the opposite direction for Australia right here, though, have resulted in 9 shots for. 19-2 in favour of Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson. They didn't play the last 2 ends. That was after 16, Barry Lester.
Yeah, there's no better feeling really when you can walk off the green and being enough shots up, you don't have to play the last few ends. And it's always a comforting thing to know that you've earned that right. You've got the shots up.
Now, but they could be on for a clash against Dan Salmon and Jared Breen, who knocked them off at Helensvale the other day. We streamed that.
Yeah, Daniel Salmon, he won gold in 218 on green 2. Just behind us there, Val, in 2018.
Yep.
As Aaron Sherriff there comes down, draws an absolute cracker on his backhand.
And the crowd is lifting for the fours as well.
Yeah, it just goes to show
in the background.
The Australian women's fours team down by 10 shots, but the cheering and the support they're getting from the crowd here to try and lift them is amazing. And when you talk about home ground advantages, not only are you familiar with the surrounds, the conditions and all that, but as you mentioned earlier, Val, in the last game, definitely goes a long way hearing from everyone in the crowds getting right behind you to support you.
The biggest voice of them all is Karen Murphy, who's riding everything here. She's loving life. So what have we got here? The Australians are in a really good position.
Yeah, Aaron Sherriff just looking to repeat the dose. Get another one in there. The other option is he could potentially just put another one around the back. And he's done that. So, as we're seeing, definitely a lot in these team environments at this level. Getting to the tee early is so important. Because what it does is it makes the opposition really either alter their weight. Usually you could go straight at it or play really big. But if you're down on the tee, it could make you play maybe different weight or harder weight. Ian McClure.
He's gone big. Missed.
He's hit the back bowl of Aron Sherriff's off the rink.
Yeah. So, this is very interesting now for the Irish. It's sitting precariously for them. Nathan Besant, might change my name to Aron. It might improve my game. Well, 3 of the 5 are called Aron.
And how do you want to spell it?
Oh yeah, there's one that's Aron or the or just the Aron, like that Key and Peele skit.
Very funny skit.
Yeah.
So Carl Healey on the forehand. He's just trying to play some form of strategic bowl here, just making sure that all bases are covered, scores healthy, 12-6 up, get to the tee, and then sometimes it's not just about getting to the tee, it's also about what side of the rink do you want to finish on. So if the jack doesn't completely kill, you want to be on the right side. If it flicks out to one of the left or right side, so there's a bit involved, but a lot of these players do train that skill, drawing to the tee. Such an important part of the game now. Martin McHugh, big weight. He's driving. He's leaning on this one to come back. He's just missed high. Aron Sherriff just asking Carl Healey to get another one in there. Just trying to get more weight of numbers in there, as you can see. Ireland have 3 in there as well. So if they can outnumber them, just helps the makeup of the head.
Good morning, gents. Just would like to compliment you in the commentary box, Barry. You brought so much insight and experience to the game. Done a phenomenal job.
Great shot. Carl Healey. So all of a sudden, the name of the game, really, yes, you've got to score or win the ends, but really you've got to be outnumbering your opposition and creating opportunities. So Carly has put another one in there. Martin McHugh needs to kill this now or reduce the count.
Well, he's in the area, but he's knocked out his own.
No change.
2 to the Australians. The margin is out at 8, Barry Lester.
Yeah, very healthy. It's all about repetition now. Scoreboard, don't even need to look at it. Don't even need to have a scoreboard. Australia, it is completely irrelevant right now. Your job, Corey Wedlock, is just to do your job, and that is...
Yep. Bowls in the head. So... Not sure what's happened. Oh, apparently there's been a streaker on another one of the greens.
Okay, so Corey Wedlock just taking his time here on the forehand. Jack length, 28 metres. Corey Wedlock. Lovely start there.
A bit of a distraction for us there, but Corey Wedlock, he's zoned in.
So Stuart Bennett on the backhand. He needs to try and just trail this jack away from Corey's nearest. And just missing high. So good home there. So both leads still stuck in that battle. Just a couple of numbers from Ireland here that are separating both teams. Those multiples come back to haunt you all the time. You can reflect on a game that you've played good in. And
Corey
if you
Wedlock.
drop numbers, they will hurt you every time. Stuart Bennett has to shift hands now over to the forehand. The reason being he's got a bit of help on the way in. If he collects Corey Wedlock's wide bowl, can move back off that and collect the jack. He wants him, Martin McHugh wants him to change his head up. Oh, that's a fair effort from Stuart Bennett. So both leads. Corey Wedlock, 2 right on it. Stewie Bennett, 2 just in behind. Plan B. And nice strategic position there for Aron Sherriff. He's not only put it into a good position if there's jack movement, but covered the tee. So Ian McClure needs to make some movement here for his skipper, Marty McHugh. He needs to come down, work off the wing, try and kick the jack out into the open, or shift the front bowl. He's not going to get back in time. If he gets the tee, it's plan B.
It is. So I think he's got it.
Aron Sherriff jogging after this one. He wants to count and cover if he can. Somewhere between jack and the back red bowl of Ireland. It's not bad. He hasn't made it any wider, that target, and he counts.
So Ireland, they are under enormous pressure now. The Australians are absolutely peppering them, asking a lot of questions. Things are happening everywhere at Broadbeach today.
I think it's actually the time to go for this now, Val.
Yep, they've got the tee.
They've had 3 goes at just sort of arriving into it. I think they've got to drive at this now. Open it up, create drawing room, or kill it. And McClure, big weight. He's all over it
He's
there.
Close. Got rid of 1. Damage still there for the Aussies. They're still holding 2. Corey Wedlock's shot bowl gone. So it's the Australians holding sway at the moment. They lead it by 8. We're just ticked over the halfway point at the conclusion of the previous end. We've played 9 of 18. This is number 10. And the Australian men's triples team, they want to keep it at this margin, because if they do, they're not going to have to play out the last end. They want to get off as quick as they can. This will be the final match of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, front end pressure is really starting to show out here, Val. Corey Wedlock and Aron Sherriff just dobbing him in there. Stewie Bennett, a couple in behind, but not quite matching it with Corey. There is a bit of room for Martin McHugh. I think he's got to draw off all the experience and class he has in his game now and go back and draw a close one here. All of a sudden, 1 would make it 14-7. Grab a new length and start running, working their way back into this match. I just don't think a target presents itself here as much as they do own the tee. I think Marty, just for his own game and his own rhythm and routine here, I think just to get a couple of draw bowls going, especially if this game gets down to the deaths at a later stage of the match, you want to be able to back your draw. But a man of his experience, he'd be confident too of driving 1 bowl out or trying to kill this jack. So forehand it is. Martin McHugh with weight, looking for jack or both bowls.
He's not far away. Martin McHugh just slides underneath. So now what's the go for Carl Healey? Baz, if you're Carlos, what are you doing?
Well, the first job is you can't fill that gap between Corey's bowl and the jack. That's the gap that they're really enjoying at the moment. Their biggest drama is the trail of the jack. If Marty reverts back to a trail and shifts it 6 feet for 3 down, that is Australia's biggest negative of this head. So it's just a matter of taking what you've got here, Australia, and protecting any danger. Sometimes when you get a little bit greedy, that's when you can play into the opposition's hands. So it'll be backhand here.
So
trying to cover the 2 red bowls. Looks to be slightly under is Carl.
So I'll give you an update of the streaker and what actually happened at the end of the end. Because we've had a full Andrew Simons moment.
Yeah. More important things for me to worry about here. We've got Australia playing for medals on green 4. Mark McHugh's trying to draw his way out of trouble.
Can he do it?
Or play weight.
He's gone weight.
Must get jack movement.
He's
Matty
close.
McHugh.
But he's skewed. Oh, yeah, that's gone out of bounds.
He's made one.
That's a good bowl.
So Marty McHugh stuck to his guns there. Missed with his previous attempt. Had the re-spot. Stuck at it. And they're looking 1-2 Ireland. So they're back on the board. Interesting to see what they do at the length here now.
Well, their last 2 ends going in this direction. They'd lost a 5 and a 4. Now they've won it. So that's a big tick in the box for the Irish.
So true, Val. Good call. That's right. The fact that they'd lost 2 in that direction previously and they've bounced back to make a 1, well, that's huge.
14-7 to Australia at the moment.
It keeps them definitely in reaching distance. Just string a couple of ends together here for Ireland. They're not far out of it, but Australia, they're playing well. They want to keep pushing forward.
Scotland lead England 13-11, Barry, in the other semi-final. They were 9-0 down.
Yeah, Scotland and England, 2 quality teams. Scotland were never going to go down without fighting, and they're showing all their class and experience. As Alex Marshall starts jogging up and down the greens, never a good sign for the opposition.
It's really not, is it?
No, it's quite deadly, that jog. You can nearly put it on the card when he leaves, lets him go out of the hand, starts jogging.
So apparently Andrew Kelly laid out that streaker before, did a full Andrew Simons moment. Would have loved to have had a camera on that. What a cult hero he can be after that. So Corey Wedlock, good start. Aussies now get last bowl.
Yeah, that's a beautiful start from Corey. Nice response after just dropping a 1. Stewie Bennett, nice correction also. Taking a bit of weight off and giving his team something to work with. Yeah, it's absolutely all happening here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Green 4 packed, green 3, plenty of action.
Well, the grandstands are absolutely chockers behind the green with officials, players, staff, fans. Everyone is around here.
Corey Wedlock.
Another great leading bowl, Baz.
Yeah, he's been able to sort of get into a rhythm on one hand. He did flirt with a couple of hands at different occasions, just due to Stewie Bennett putting some bowls in his eye, but he's managed to be able to play the one side predominantly and get some rhythm up, has Corey Wedlock, and it's really paying off, creating that foundation for his team.
He's having a wonderful day, Corey Wedlock, and we spoke off the top. Baz, by all accounts, he led superbly this morning against the United States. Australia got that one done with a couple of ends to spare. Ladies fours, 13-5 in favour of the Scots over the Aussies, but Australia, they're holding a couple at the moment.
Aron Sherriff staying on the same hand as Corey Wedlock. He can achieve third shot here, but try not to set up a target. Oh, he's played it well, Aron Sherriff. Well, he's made still 3, I believe, but just closed that gap a fraction. I think Ireland will be trying to work up now, follow Aron Sherriff down, try and work up and trail it. Jack.
So, it's up to the seconds. It's Ian McClure now.
Yeah,
try and put his next bowl down.
It'll be backhand, just work up under the front blue, sit or trail. Big it is, looking for the kill.
He got it.
What a shot, Ian McClure.
Zeroed in today, the Irish. I reckon they've nailed about 4 of those.
It's starting to be really clear here, Val. Clear tactic of Ireland, drive or draw. The in-between shots, last resort sometimes when the breeze is a little bit blowy and the greens are free. There's Aron Sherriff, too much room for him.
Omar doesn't need any more invitations like that. That is magnificent, and he's right in front of the jack. So I think the narrative here, and people are talking about Corey on the comments, Baz, the narrative is unbelievable. He had a struggling Commonwealth Games last year. He didn't get out of his section in either of the disciplines he was in. He would be absolutely rapt to be in this position, playing in a semi-final, and if he wins a world championship, it would really warm the hearts of a lot of bowls fans in this country, because he is such a wonderful player.
Yeah, great player, great bloke. Yeah, Corey going through some personal battles last year after losing his father and his best friend and mentor, to be able to come back, make the Commonwealth Games. Martin McHugh missed there. To be able to come back, show that resilience.
The fact that he made the Commonwealth Games team, played it, and the fact that he just fronted up and continued to go about his business. I think there was a lot of respect earned for Corey Wedlock, and then also I think winning the BPL 16 MVP last year as well. I think that was a real feather in his cap.
Yeah, backs it up also. Multi-Nations gold medal just on the green next door to us here on green 3.
With you.
Yep, another gold medal for his country, and then Australian Open fours gold medal. So the resume just builds and builds and builds, and what Corey Wedlock's been able to do is pick up the mat and jack and set up his teammates well for his country. And Aron Sherriff's been able to back him up and draw a front touchy here. So as we see, Australia holding one.
And Carl Healey
trying to get to another.
Makes it 2. And it's not a bad spot to be in.
So Australian women's fours picking up a couple. They're only 5 down now, 13-8, as Martin McHugh drives again. Looking for both bowls. He's taken one out.
Could only get one. Australia, the women's fours, I think they've picked up a 3. Back to within 5 of the Scots, so they are coming home hard in the women's fours semi-final. Scotland lead 14-11 in the other men's triples semi-final. There is plenty happening here at Broadbeach. And that is a 2 to the Australians. So, Baz, it's the biggest lead of the contest. It's 15-7. The margin is at 8. And we've got 7 ends to go.
Yeah, great shot, Aron Sherriff. Just putting it right on the front of the jack. So, yes, it was shot, but it was in a position where the ability for Ireland to score wasn't as great. Can't beat a front touch-up. And had them chasing, so good pick up there. 2 shots, just as Ireland started to show signs of coming back. Australia push back again with a 2.
So, if you look at the patterns of scoring, Australia scored a 1 in their first end of the match, or in the first end of the match. Since then, they've scored in 5 ends, 2, 5, 4, 2, 2. They've scored in multiples. 3 of the 5 ends that Ireland have scored in have been singles, and the highest that they've got to is 2. So Australia's scoring big.
Yeah, multiples. We mention it all the time. They come and go, but ideally, if you get your chance, take your medicine, cut it back to a couple or 1 ideally, and then try and look for a reply down the track. But those multiples, yeah, you can win the ends and be around it, but unfortunately, most times they'll be the difference in any game. As Corey gets to him behind the jack there, good lead bowls. Stuart Bennett. He's going to be under. He's going to reach, though.
So, Janice, you can actually go and have a look at the women's fours game. You can have a multi-screen because Bowls Australia, thanks to Gold Coast Tweed District, is streaming the women's fours semi-final as well. So, there's plenty that you can have a look at. to whet your appetite for bowls is Aron Sherriff.
Needs to hang on.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice starter from Aron. So Marty McHugh just indicating he's got a yard for second, has Ian McClure.
So Ireland really, they're on the back foot. They need a couple of ends to go their way if they had to work their way out of this. Very, very accomplished bowlers. And they will go home with a bronze if they don't come up with the chocolates, but they will believe. Ian McClure.
Yeah, fair reply.
Not bad at all. That'll be, what do you reckon, Baz? That's second?
I think it is, Val. That was his first job. Get something near it. Try and back up Stewie Bennett, the lead for Ireland, and then work on something after that. Aron Sherriff, he's got this trot going quite regularly now, and this is why. So Ian McClure from Ireland needs to just bring his line in a touch here, make the minor correction. Big bowl required for his country here. He's not 2 down anymore, just the 1. So that's much better.
Yep.
Looking ahead for Marty McHugh now. He's not only got the tee, but he's got second shot.
So is this where Carl needs to go now? Does he go to the tee because they've showed this proclivity to play with weight?
I believe so.
Yeah.
If not, you've got to be looking to play some form of aggressive draw to change the way the head's situated. So a trail down the line, get the jack to sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock, get the jack into there, you make a 3, or you go right to the tee and you take the jack movement straight out of it. So I like this idea of a trail here for Carl Healey. He's played it pretty well. He's got a nice head to play to. Just falling short. Don't think it's enough for second. Actually protects the Irish bowl too, so I think we'll see big weight here from Marty McHugh.
So the margin at 9 at the moment for the Aussies. They are playing brilliantly all over this Irish trio. Try and bring you some scores from the other men's pairs semi-finals, or quarterfinals, I should say. Ryan Bester, his Canadian duo is through to the semi-finals, Baz. So he looks for his second World Bowls Championship gold medal and the second for Canada, title that he won in 2004.
Marty McHugh looking for the shot bowl of Australia. He's going to be going under. Just underplayed it for me, did Marty. I think he'll be definitely right into it with his last if nothing changes here. Carl Healey. He'll be trying to get to the tee and cover where Aron Sherriff's right foot is. That's where Ireland can pick up 3. So, Carl Healey on the forehand. Looking to cover the potential count of Ireland of 3 if they trail the jack. So just trying to put a bowl, even right out near the peg's okay. It makes the weight more critical for Ireland. Forehand, it's getting back. So just on the left of the screen there. Not sure if it wins the tee though.
Yeah, he might have needed a little bit more weight there, Baz, but it's close either way. Australia in a strong position. Ireland need to win this end. It's critical for them. They need more than 1 and over now.
So Martin McHugh, Irish skipper, finds himself 1 down with second shot. If he kills the jack, It's very close for the shot on the tee from here. We can't quite tell. I think it'll be solid weight here. Looking for the bowl and the bowl only.
Martin McHugh.
Backhand.
He's close.
He's got the jack.
And he has killed it.
Jack may have stayed in. If it has, that would be stiff.
So Corey Wedlock picks up the mat. That is going to be... Wait for the confirmation. 1 to the Aussies. And despite hitting the jack, he needed the bowl, I think, there, Baz. So the margin now at 10, and it's becoming more and more precarious for the Irish trio. Scotland lead England 14-12 in the other men's triples semi-final. They were down 9-0. They've got 6 to play, including the 13th that they're on.
Aron Sherriff, well, he's 6 ends away from getting another crack at the World Triples gold medal, in which he just fell short in 2:16, going to an extra end against England. Another bite at it. Redemption.
He is, of course, a world champion. He has won the World Fours title in 2012 with Brett Wilkie, Wayne Rudiger, and Mark Casey back at Lockleys, where all of the Open Jackaroos went home with a gold medal.
Stuart Bennett just falling 4 foot short. Corey Wedlock out on a nice line. Needs it to work back now. That's a great shot. So lovely correction from Corey. The front one there is only needed a yard of correction. Minimal line, and he's done it well. Stewie Bennett, he's something similar here. He needs to find a line and a yard of weight. So he's done well there. Stuart Bennett, nice correction.
Nicely done from the Irish lead.
So it's that stage of the day. Players will be heading towards lunch, looking to keep fueled and hydrated. You'll see the players reaching for water, snacks.
All very important.
The mind right now is getting challenged. So it's a physical and mental challenge right now. The position the players are in.
So Australia getting very close. Time for Ian McClure to pop in another.
So Scotland picking up a 3 there in the women's fours.
So 16-8, they lead. That's a danger sign for the Aussie women's fours team.
Good effort there by Ian McClure. His weight was good enough, just missing, slightly narrow. So Aron Sherriff, he's got to try and work under that front one for me, down through the hole, or try and shift Corey Wedlock's bowl up into the head.
That's what he's done, and he just
not getting enough
doesn't get the result.
Good effort, though.
Yep.
Aaron Sherriff, he's got a spring in his step.
He does. He's fired up, isn't he, Aron Sherriff? And this is what you love to see from
he knows
the champion.
Yeah, he wants this one bad, as I mentioned, 2:16. I know Aron Sherriff well, and I know that it's if you can get some multiple discipline gold medals to add to the resume, ticking more boxes, he wants this one bad, does Aron Sherriff. Came down to the last bowl in 2016 to decide whether to win gold or not. And if he can add a triple to his fours, that would be a huge accomplishment. And he's springing around the back of the head there, encouraging Corey, encouraging Carl. Yeah, so his role off the mat right now is really important. Most experienced Aussie Jackaroo male player out there. And he's showing that, so it's so important. Great leadership from Aron as Martin McHugh finds himself holding one, I believe. Could be... I do favour their front red bowl. As Carl Healey comes down on the draw, falling short, just a yard. That front cannon is what Marty McHugh will be looking for. Any contact on that front bowl, that front blue bowl. And if you can get it solid and stay, you may be able to make 3 or 4. Okay. And just reaffirming to Martin McHugh what exactly he's after, what they need. So it's forehand it is, looking for that front cannon. He's close here, Martin McHugh.
Very close. 1 up for Ireland.
Maybe 2. So 2 shots to Ireland.
Yep. Marcus says 2.
As we see in the men's pairs semi-final, triples final, a couple of rinks over. Scotland leading 14-12 over England. So a lot of deciding games going on around this venue. Week 1. So the women's fours and singles are being played, and the cross discipline is the men's triples and pairs. So opposite disciplines week 1, and then they switch over week 2. The women's will go into the triples and pairs, and the men into the singles and fours.
Scotland leads 17-12 in the men's triples semi. The other one, that'll be 3rd up tomorrow on the secondary rink at Club Helensvale. The winner of these 2 contests between Australia and Ireland and England and Scotland.
Carl Healey, great weight, just missing under. So Ireland potentially holding, well, definitely holding 2, potentially 3, depending how that bowl sits at 9 o'clock.
The Australians very close, but Ireland, they will not go down without a fight. That's why Ian McClure and Martin McHugh, the 2 50-year-olds, have been bowling for the better part of 3 decades, Barry.
Yeah, at the highest level, huge achievement for any athlete to represent your country at the highest level, but to do it for so long is amazing. Just the dedication alone. So out on a high line, needs a clean run at this jack. There's Martin McHugh. He wants to just touch it.
Doesn't want the Aussie bowl.
No,
that's okay. So that'll do. Aron Sherriff just going to have a little measure here.
So that one versus the front one of Australia. So it's either going to be 2 or 3. Soon find out. I think it may be 3. 3 it is.
Wow. So, all of a sudden, 17-10 in favour of Australia. There's 5 ends to go, Barry Lester. Carl Healey, though, will have last bowl. That's what the Aussies will have in their mind. Time ticks over, 1:30 p.m. here on the Gold Coast. What a wonderful setting it is here. Green 4 at the Broadbeach Bowls Club.
Yeah, you're right, Val. Doesn't get much better than this, really. Well, if it does, I'd like to know how. Perfect bowling green here at Broadbeach. I'm just going to say Tweed Heads have got beautiful greens as well. Broadbeach, Helensvale, a lot of the clubs up here on the Gold Coast. And I would probably say as far south as Coffs Harbour, we're very spoilt with the climate and the beautiful greens right up through to the Sunshine Coast. Amazing amount of beautiful greens, great weather. Tiff Dwarf, always running 15 seconds. And Val's just had to go and put the camera back into position, as you can see. Just a little bit off angle there. Someone's just bumped the camera on the way past. A lot of people hovered around green 4. Standing room only, really. As we see Corey Wedlock trying to get inside Stuart Bennett's bowl. Photo finish. Yeah, it's everyone's actually sort of nudging each other out of the way here to try and get a glimpse at the green four here. The Australian women's fours contingent in action on the ditch rink. And Australian men's triples. Stuart Bennett slides past. Well, that'll do for shot. Corey Wedlock. Backhand, looking for 2 feet of weight. Even if he plays a yard here is handy. He can afford to turn his own up, trail the jack, or get into a nice area. So that's really good from Corey. If you're not getting shot, that's exactly where you'd want to finish. That's a nice response. So as it sits at the moment, Ireland holding 1.
Not a bad home for Corey Wedlock.
Yeah, very good bowling there from Corey. And so many times, if you're trying to get shot, well, you try and nail the jack and fall short, where Corey played the percentage there, gave it a chance and finished in a good home. And McClure, he's going to make 3 out of this head all of a sudden. So
He is, but Aron Sherriff has 2 in the tank.
yeah, I think this target is big enough now for Australia to get into.
He's going for it, Aron Sherriff. He's close. Oh, my word. He cleared almost everything out, but it's still Ireland that holds sway. So, this match edging Kerry. If you do want to force up that, you can actually go and have a multi-screen on if you need to. Open a new tab, and our partners at Gold Coast Tweed are streaming that one. Can't quite see the scores, and I think it's 16-8 at the moment. Oh, 18-8 now.
Yeah, just dropped the 2 there, did the Australian women's fours.
And that's after 10 ends, so 5 to play. The Aussies need to get a bit of a wriggle on if they are to win.
So Aron Sherriff from drive to draw, trying to get inside that back red bowl. Well, there's still potentially 2 down here, so it's a big end here. If Ireland can snatch a 2 or 3, really not much in it heading into the last sort of quarter of the match.
But if the Aussies, however, can get another end, Baz, that is going to make things enormously difficult for the Irish to peg back.
Yeah, it's one of those heads here. Carl Healey, he can play an absolute screamer, forehand, run the jack in the pit, 2 or 3.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Both red bowls are removed. Marty McHugh will be all over this. He knows, get another one in there. Or if he doesn't, just slide on past and put it into a good home.
Or just slides past that Corey Wedlock bowl.
Yeah, so Ian McClure just showing his emotion on that one. He knew, a couple of inches narrower for Marty. They were holding 3. Or if he missed, he probably went to a good home. So I think Carl Healey, he can afford to do what he likes now.
Go big.
Yeah, his bowl's protected. It's probably the easier shot to go big and swing the jack in the ditch, or just back himself to play 2 feet and trail it for 2. Just comes back to personal preference. A lot of these players have played on these greens a lot. You think about Aron Sherriff's record on the Australian Open, but he won 2 gold medals on this green in 2019 in the Asia Pacifics. It's like he's own backyard, this green for it.
Carl Healey's getting down, so he hasn't gone with weight. But I tell you what, he's gone on the cold draw and almost got it. So, one around the back. So Carl Healey now, Baz, with an opportunity. What's he going for? Is he going weight, or has he shut that option off with where his last bowl has ended?
Yeah, so Carl was just a fraction under with his last. He was just looking to dead draw it. And if he happened to be slightly over, he could have made 2. So I don't see much changing here. 7 up on the board, only 1 down on the head. If he fails here, that's okay. Still 6 up. 3 to play, but the thing about this shot is he can afford to reach. So if he wants to go looking for a number, he can. There isn't much danger. It's just the percentages of the way this head shapes up. Even if he's a bowl tight, he can afford to lock onto his own. So a lot of positives to come of this, and it's the big stick. Out it comes. Carl Healey, forehand. Big weight, looking for the shot bowl.
Carl Healey. Got it.
Brilliant shot.
That's 2.
So
is it match defining, Baz?
1 down to 2 up. It doesn't get much better than that. I love the positiveness of that shot. He could have just tried to arrive again and try and trail it, but the percentages were their nearest bowl of Corey Wedlock's was protected. That's the key. And he got the shot bowl out clean. No other movement. And Carl Healey, skipping the Australian triples team, skips New South Wales state sides, won many big titles as a skipper, both at state level and Australian level. 2 years ago, just on the green next door, well, 2 greens over, won the Australian Open in the 4s skipping. And, of course, last year, showing his versatility, playing in the middle of the triples, winning silver in Birmingham. So Carl Healey can play all positions, and he's played the big one when it mattered there, from 1 down to 2 up.
He certainly has, Barry Lester, and 19-10 now. They are perilously close, and you know what we could have, Barry? The way it's going and the way it stands at the moment, Sherriff v Marshall in a World Bowls Championship final.
Yeah, it's so close to that. It's almost a promoter's dream. But
yep,
a couple of ends to go now for Australia. Well, if they can potentially pinch 1 or 2 here, it's going to be nearly impossible to come back, considering it's only a six bowl game.
And the way Corey Wedlock has bowled,
cracking
it's
shot.
Sensational.
So Scotland, as you can see there on the screen, 17-13 up after being down by 9-0 they were. So that's a 17-4 run from Scotland. England, of course, defending champions in the men's triples. And the men's 4s was New Zealand. As we see there, Stuart Bennett just coming in behind Corey Wedlock's shot bowl. 2 good shots. Love that from Corey also. 1 on, 1 behind.
So, Aron Sherriff gets a thumbs up from Carl Healey.
Martin McHugh asking Ian McClure just to arrive with a yard here. Try and pop the jack out to the open. As we see Ian release this one out on the backhand. He's looking to come up and crack an egg here. Try and change the makeup of this head.
Close.
He's done it. Well, he's probably
1
down still, maybe 2.
I reckon that could be 2 down. Can't quite see. I reckon that might be just 1 indicated by our marker. So Scotland with an end to play, or 2 ends to play, lead 19-30 over England's triples team. They look good.
Aron Sherriff.
Oh, he's
What
on
a shot.
fire, isn't he? He's on fire. All 3 of them have been sensational, haven't they, Barry?
Yeah, that was really good tactical shot there. No real harm, and just arriving, edging that shot bowl out, or the near bowl of Ireland. So Marty McHugh, he needs to really try and hang tough with the rest of his team here and try and manufacture something, just a 1 or a 2, or at least open this head up to Ian McClure. And we'll see what he can come up with on the backhand.
So this is a big bowl for Ian McClure.
Out on a high line. Will it get back in time?
It's trying, but it is going to miss high, and he's going around the back. And he's right on the centre line pretty much. So Healey and McHugh. So I believe Australia have taken an end against Scotland, but they've got a 2, so they're down by 8 with, I believe, 4 to play, Barry.
Yeah, that's what I can see from here, Val. 4 ends to play, 8 the diff.
If they score an 8, that's it, it's even.
England leading New Zealand 13-4 after 9 in the other women's fours game. Healey, forehand. Can he just work under that bowl of Ireland? Well, not quite, just probably a couple of feet short, but good high line.
Yep.
Good intent out there, knowing that Ireland's chance here is just try and move the jack out to the wing there. If not, maybe kill it and try and get a 1 on the respot. So to the right of the screen is the ocean side, the eastern side, and that is always the wide side here at Broadbeach. And players can back themselves to play with some weight, knowing they'll always generally get back to their target, and that's what Martin McHugh has here. Backhand with weight, just a couple of feet, looking to use the wide drawing arc. Out it goes, and then trying to get back for the jack here. He's close.
Martin McHugh not far off. Oh,
half a bowl
you are
high.
kidding me. And the animation from his teammates. Oh, my word. Stuart Bennett was on his haunches. But Ireland, they'll have to go to their last bowl, and it'll have to be Martin McHugh again. He doesn't have to change too much, but where's Carl Healey going, Barry? Is he forehand?
Yeah, Carl has to add 2-3 feet of weight. Just get into that catchment, even if he slightly slides under his last bowl.
Just to protect. So Carl Healey, big bowl, because if Australia can score again here, it'll go a long way to determining whether we might actually even get the full allotment of ends. Aron Sherriff and Corey Wedlock, they like it. They like where this is going to finish. Has it finished in the right spot, though?
Can't quite tell from our angle. So I think they have to revert back to big weight here, Ireland. Open this head right up. And they have the one at the back, as you see there. They've got the tee. That'll get them 1 if they can kill it. That'll put them down 8 shots.
With 3 ends to play.
Yeah, with 3 to play. So that isn't the worst result. They are looking for a multiple, though. That's the deliberation at the moment.
1 isn't enough, but it'll do.
Yeah, that's right. 1 gives them a wee sniff, but a multiple, they're all of a sudden a small chance. And that's what they're deliberating over at the moment, because they are probably 3 down. So if they do drop a 3 here, that might nearly be it. Backhand, big weight, front bowl through Jack, outside split.
Gone big.
Outside split works.
Oh, wow. He got it. I think he got it. That's a one. That is a very fortunate result.
Yeah,
it rebounded off the Australian bowl. And, well, the margin is 8.
Yeah, couldn't have played it much better. Outside split or front bowl through Jack in the area, but just a fortunate result, like you said there, Val, to be able to be travelling at that speed, the Jack, and that
just
stop still.
Like there.
You don't see that very often. Yeah. Probably seen it maybe half a dozen times over the years, but yeah, for some reason when a Jack hits a bowl stationary, sometimes the Jack can just stop on it. And as we saw there, 1 shot to Ireland. So 8 the diff, 3 to play.
So
Ireland must score a multiple.
Telling me there's a chance.
Yes. Ireland must score a multiple.
Yep. I think the perfect thing for them is if they get maybe a 3 or something like that. That certainly helps.
Well, Scotland have their both feet into the final. That game is now over. Shaking hands over there.
There it is. So, Paul Foster, Derek Oliver, and Alex Marshall await the winner of this. Do we have Sherriff v Marshall? It is a promoter's dream, Barry Lester, and we're very close to having it.
Yeah, so they've actually gone on a 23-4 run, Scotland, after being 9-0 down. So
that's insane. 23-4.
Just scoring 23 shots in general over 15 ends in triples. Sorry, 18 ends. That's an amazing effort. So, but to come back from a slow start, and they'll review that. What could they have done better? Why was it? Was it just the opposition were better, or was it some form of preparation? So I can't see Scotland, falling for that again. 9-0 down. We weren't there to see it, obviously, Val, but it's something that they'll try to eradicate in the final. And who will they be playing at this stage? Australia, 1 foot in the door. Corey Wedlock, what a beautiful shot. Almost touching.
So I can confirm that Adam McHugh and Gary Kelly are through to the semi-finals of the men's pairs. They'll take on Canada. Looking forward to that match.
Wow, Kelly versus Bester. It's all happening now, Val.
Well, we get it at a BPL. We're going to get it at a World Bowls Championships. John Bazier and Ryan Bester.
John Bazier, of course, former Australian under-25 player and New South Wales representative, now resides in Canada. The Bear, John Bazier, great draw player and has proven to be a very good player for Canada.
So Corey Wedlock has led superbly throughout this contest, and it's his bowl that continues to hold sway. He's led unbelievably all day.
Yeah, just out on a nice catchment there is Aron Sherriff, just trying to put it in the area to cover those 2 back red bowls. And McClure here. The plan is to try and sit the shot bowl for a potential 2 and stay. If not, get the shot bowl onto the Jack and work back to his back catches. I think they
got a good home at the back, Australia. They need to try and not concede a multiple. That's the big task for them at the moment.
Yeah, spot on, Val. Good call. That's right. And all Ireland's looking to do is now just get a multiple. 1 shot here. We'll see that they're still 7 down with 2 to play, and if they can somehow manage to get a 2 or a 3 here, it will be game on. Corey Wedlock, front-end pressure is the name of the game.
Yep. Well, you said it yesterday, Baz, and we said it this morning. The front end decides who wins the end. The skip, by how much?
Yeah, so many times you'll see that in team games. Just getting bowls in the head. Skipper's trying to determine how many shots they can make. Alrighty, Ian McClure needs this bowl solid.
He's close.
All through Jack. He's played it. He's made
it
two.
Through Jack, and that is what they need. That's what the doctor ordered.
Wow, one down to 2 up.
The Irish trio. It is hanging by a thread for Ireland. They need to be nigh on perfect from here. Australia just need to ensure that they don't concede a multiple, and that's very, very nice from Aron Sherriff as he promotes his own right to the jack.
Aron Sherriff there in the area, gutsing his previous bowl, getting it solid right up onto the jack.
Little jog after that as well.
Yeah,
he was
Ireland
happy with his work.
Ireland holding 2 seconds, so Marty McHugh, he's going to have to get rid of that shot bowl clean, no jack movement. If they kill it, they'll be at least one down on the tee, so I think this is where the weight control really matters. If Marty McHugh can sit this and stay for 3, that would be his maximum result, but if he can just get rid of it to begin with, that's what he'll be after. So, solid weight, looking for the shot bowl clean, no jack.
And he's not going to get there, just slid past the Aussie bowl, which kind of gets in the way a little bit now. They have to be an even more perfect shot, but now it's time for Carl Healey to keep applying the pressure. Aron Sherriff telling him to come on the forehand and drift in and under for protection, not to create a massive target for their Irish combatants.
Carl Healey on the forehand. I reckon he'll be on a high line. He doesn't want to be under slightly and get back to the shot bowl. So, has he got enough run? Not quite. So, Ian McClure and Stuart, Bennett and Marty McHugh from Ireland.
This is
find
huge.
themselves one down on the head, searching for shot. They must get at least shot here. One down, they're not out of it, but a long way back. But if they can get 1 or 2 here,
a 2 is huge if you're an Irish fan, and if you're one of the trio that's out there at the moment. Australia dropping a 1, well, they won't mind. But if Australia win the end, they'll be trying to finish it off.
It just depends here.
In 17.
Just depends, Val, here, if he wants to go really big looking for the clean edge, no jack. Whereas if he kills the end somehow, it's nearly shake hands. But it comes back to, does he want to play a timer, try and land it and stay, or go real solid and flick it out? He doesn't want the front blue through his 2 red ones either. So something similar. Needs to be a bowl tighter. It's not a mile away. Needs it clean.
Not a mile away at all.
He's played it.
Oh, wow. That is unbelievably played.
So Carl Healey, all of a sudden, finds himself 2 down. Ireland fighting tooth and nail here.
What a bowl. Have a look at the replay. Martin McHugh.
Needs it to hold past the front. Game of millimetres. Misses, shadows that bowl. Flicks it off the jack clean.
It's magic.
Carl Healey, you have 2 feet to draw the shot. Backhand.
We do apologise. There's a man's arm right in the way of the camera.
And it's Marty McHugh's. Hopefully he's conscious of where he's standing. Hopefully Marty. As Carl Healey sets up. Big moment this. So he's playing weight.
He's going for it here, Carl.
I haven't seen what he's going for.
We've got an okay view of
Jack.
it. Got it. Oh, it's come back in.
I didn't know what he was...
It has come off the ditch and forward and halfway down the green. That's how well he connected. And Australia, well, they've got the tee. They've got 4 around the tee.
So he was going bare Jack. That's all over now.
The match, well, that's the match. What a way to finish it. They scored a 4.
So bare Jack was the call to kill it to make 4. I'm sorry, I didn't see that coming because there was so much room to draw it. But Carl Healey's backed himself there to kill it, and made a 4.
Got it, killed it, back on the tee, and Australia take the win. And it is what we all hoped for. Sherriff v Marshall in the final. Corey Wedlock, Carl Healey and Aron Sherriff get the job done. 24-11 over Stuart Bennett, Ian McClure and Martin McHugh. What an unbelievable win, and what a way to finish it for Carl Healey, Barry Lester.
Yeah, amazing shot to finish. I'm sorry I didn't see that happening. And when I look back now, well, why not? If you back yourself to kill it, he needed to put it over the bank, or left or right, obviously, to kill it, but to go up the green and drop a 4. But well done for me, Corey Wedlock. Rock solid right throughout that match. What a foundation to have. And well done to Aron Sherriff. So congratulations and well done to the Ireland triple, making it deep in this event. And I'm sure they'll be a hard team to beat come the 4s.
England and Ireland get the bronze medals tomorrow afternoon. Final session of the day. It'll be Australia versus Scotland in the men's triples. Derek Oliver, Paul Foster and Alex Marshall against Corey Wedlock, Aron Sherriff and Carl Healey. Val Ferbo and Barry Lester with you. Big thank you to you, Baz. And we're going to be back with the men's para pairs semi-final after women's para pairs. Sorry, I do apologise. Women's para pairs. After this, in about 40 minutes' time. So shouldn't be too much longer. We'll catch you then.